Hello, cousins. Welcome back, everybody, from around the world. We are broadcasting live right here at Third Phase Moon. We're taking your calls in regards to the UFO phenomenon, and that's what we do here. We get the information as it comes in, and we want to get it out lightning speed out to you, the people, as fast as we can. Once the information comes in, we put it out as quick as possible. It's our service to you, the world, in regards to this, because people want to share their stuff. They got a voice. They got a voice, and we're letting people share it right here, loud and clear to the public all around the world. They're listening because I got a feeling people out there are experiencing the exact same thing, the same experience that people are calling into to this radio show. It's a worldwide phenomenon. So we're going to bring in the callers, and let's get to it. I think we got a stack of callers. We're going to try and get to at least 4, maybe 5 callers tonight. Let's see how things go on Third Phase of Moon. Let's start it up. Let's go ahead and bring in area code 832. 832, you made it to Third Phase of Moon. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how's it going?
Doing good.
I've actually I've been trying to call for a few weeks now. I have several UFO sightings that I wanted to report. But the first thing I wanted to mention, I wanted to let you know that you had a guy on your radio show a few weeks ago, and he was mentioning that he grew up on Fort Benning and that he was talking about a mass UFO sighting that happened there. He also brought up that he has some way of interfering with electronics and cell phones and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that. He claimed that there's over 1,500 personnel on that base that witnessed this event, and then, he still has the power or this adverse reaction. Well, it seems like the machines have an adverse reaction to him being around via electromagnetic.
Yeah, well, I have something interesting to mention about that, actually. I work as a pharmacy technician, and so I deal with people all the time. And I had a customer come in one day, and he walked up to the register, and I'm trying to pull his name up and everything, and my computer just started glitching and started doing weird things, and I was looking at it going, what's going on here? And the guy goes, oh, I'm sorry. This happens to me everywhere I go. Some reason I interfere with computers and registers, and so he took a step back away from the register, and it worked just fine. And I thought that was very odd. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, this happens to me everywhere I go. I don't know why. I seem to interfere with computers and registers, and this happens all the time. And I'm like, wow, okay. And so, I'm bringing him up. He has to walk back up to the register to use his credit card, and it starts doing again. And so he steps back. He's like, here, you do it for me. He steps away from the register, and I do it, and it works just fine. And I just thought that was the weirdest thing, And I didn't think anything of it until I heard your show, and the guy started talking about it, and it brought up that memory. It happened a couple years ago, but I remember it very clearly. And I just thought that was very odd. So I just wanted to mention that.
Absolutely. Let me ask you, have you ever thought of a song and then all of a sudden it comes up on the radio? You got a song on your mind, and then immediately the next song comes up.
Oh, yeah.
The one
that
you're thinking about.
All the time. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, I got a feeling with radio stations and these transmitters, some of them have delays, but you're picking up on, possibly the brain is picking up on these radio waves, on these delays, and it's hitting our subconscious mind, and then all of a sudden, this song comes up. And I got a feeling this is almost the same thing that's happening to people around the world in regards to making computers go on the fritz or electrical things. They're just a little bit more enhanced, or more of a sensitive, I guess, or
oh yeah.
It's strange, isn't it?
I also wanted to mention, I've seen several UFOs that are worth talking about. 2, I do want to just let you know on the show for sure. I've seen what you call the TR-3B craft. I didn't know what it was at the time. I saw this back in 2006, which is really weird because I found out there's a patent that came out with the triangular-shaped aircraft that was published on the what was it, 2006, which was right around the time when I saw this thing. And it was weird because I was at night. I had a son. He was about a year old, and I was on my way to a friend's house. And I live in Houston, Texas. And we have this water park that's called Splashtown. Well, I was on the freeway, and I was coming up to it, and I see two bright white lights that was over Splashtown. And at first, I thought that it was a plane because there's an airport not far from there, but it was way too low. And I looked at it, and then all of a sudden it turned into three white lights. And I realized this thing's not moving. It's staying where it was. And I was driving to it, like real close to it. And as the closer I got, the clearer it became. And it was this perfect triangle-shaped object with three white lights, one on each corner, and a red dome light underneath it. And this thing was hovering directly over Splashtown, very close, almost to the point where the street lights are, you know, the freeway lights, how high they are. It was right there. And there were other people that saw it. They were pulled over on the side of the road. I know this thing was just directly over Splashtown. And I got scared because, you know, I've seen fire in the sky and, you know, stuff like that. And I got scared because I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, you know, this thing's going to abduct me or something. And I had my son with me. So I just kept driving. I was too scared to even think to pull over and do anything. But after the fact, I was kind of disappointed that I didn't, you know, stay longer and actually watch what this thing was doing or even, you know, take out a camera. I had a cell phone, but back then it was like one of those cheap flip phones, and so the camera wasn't very good. So I doubt I would have even got a very good picture of it. But
but your experience, how you're explaining it, you're basically, you know, you saw this thing, this triangular shaped craft. Again, how large do you think this was? What was there a military base close by?
Oh, it's pretty big. No,
were there
not that I'm aware of.
People in the area? Did other people see it?
There were people that have pulled over to the side of the freeway. I know they were watching it. So I know I wasn't the only one. And another weird thing is my son's father was at home. Exact same time this happened, he was at home and he was having some weird things going on with our electronics at the apartment, which was not far from there. I mean, and so he's saying the TV started acting weird. The refrigerator started having this weird humming noise coming out of it, out of nowhere. And this was the exact same time when I see this thing, which is really weird. So, I don't know.
Yeah, wow. That doesn't surprise me at all. Whatever's power in this thing, it has, I would imagine, interrupts the atmosphere around, whether it be a magnetic field of some sort, but I'm sure there's something coming off of it. Did you feel any kind of tingling as you're watching it within your own body, or what did you,
I did, but at the
it?
time I had more fear come over me, and I was thinking it was just from the fear of seeing this thing, knowing that this is actually happening, and I was scared. I really was. So I had no idea what it was. I thought that this thing was definitely alien because it was not something I've ever seen before. You know, and I had my son with me, so I was scared. I really was.
Yeah, I could imagine. Intimidating, to say the least. Let me ask you, where was this approximately? When did you witness this, and exactly where was the location?
It was 2006. I know that because my son, he was born in 2005. He was just over a year old. And I know, I think it was in August, September, October, around one of those months. I don't exactly remember which one, but I do know that it was in 2006. And before that, I've had several UFO encounters. So that was
could
just
you tell
one
us exactly? Yeah, we'll get to one of your other encounters. We definitely want to hear that. Where was this site? Where was the location of this TR3B sighting exactly?
Well, there's a freeway that goes straight north from Houston, Texas. And there's a water park that's, I'd say, about 30, 45 minutes from the actual Houston location. And it's a huge water park. And it's called Splashtown, and it's right off the freeway. So the freeway that I was on, I was passing it. I pass it every day to and from, going from home to work to, so I see it all the time.
Yeah, thanks for that. It's interesting, too. There's a lot of people, including my brother, that witness UFOs while they're driving on the freeway. And the great indicator is when you notice people are, like, pressing the brakes. You see them, all of a sudden a bunch of red lights are pressing their brakes in front of you because they're noticing the same thing you are. They're pulling over, and that's kind of a cool event. It can get quite dangerous, too. Everybody looking up at this UFO while you're driving on a freeway going at a super speed. But let's get... We got a lot of callers here. They want to share their story, but we got time for one more of your experiences. Go ahead.
Okay, the best one, I'll have to say, I was 8 or 9 months pregnant with my son, and I just dropped my husband off at work. It was 9 a.m. in the morning, no clouds in the sky, perfect day. I was exiting the freeway. This was really close to the same location, actually. I was exiting onto the feeder road of the freeway, and I look up in the sky, and I see what I see is a huge ball of fire, which I thought was a huge meteor falling out of the sky. I mean, this thing was huge. It had a tail on it and everything, and it was dropping, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, my God, there's a meteor, and it's about to hit the earth, and it scared me to death. But this thing, I'm watching, it happened so fast. It stopped in midair from going from a flaming ball to this perfect cylinder. I say cylinder, but it was more like a cigar, I guess, or diamond shape almost. But it was metallic, and it was rotating, and I could see the sun reflecting off of it. So I know that it was a solid object. And just like that, as soon as I knew what I was looking at, it disappeared right in front of my eyes. Like it just vanished, and it was gone. And to me, I was like, there's no way it could be gone. It had to have some kind of cloaking device or something to just make it invisible, because there's no possible way something could just vanish like that. And it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Besides the Tier 3B sighting, you think this beats that one? That one sounds pretty good, too.
I think
so. Man,
yeah, this was during the daytime, and it looked like
the broad
a
daylight
flaming
sightings.
meteor. And it just goes from that to stopping in midair, complete stop. I mean, it wasn't moving at all. Going from that to that is like unbelievable. I see this thing. It's definitely metallic. It was like a dark metal look. I can't really explain anymore, but dark grayish.
Do you think this?
And
do you think the craft may have had some difficulties? Maybe it was like entering Earth's atmosphere, burning up. Something was malfunctioning, and then they may have whoever was piloting this thing regained control of its flight. But the thing, it seemed like it stopped. It was out of control and then stopped in midair as it looked like a meteor falling out of the sky.
Honestly,
like
I don't know.
With this thing.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's what I saw. And I was stopped. People were honking at me from behind because I wasn't moving, because I was watching this thing. And, Lord, I wish I had a camera with me. I would have taken a picture of it, but it happened so fast. There was no time to even think about that. I was just focused on what I was watching, and it disappeared just instantly in front of my eyes. I didn't even blink. This thing was just all of a sudden just gone. And I'm like, that's impossible. Because I saw it. It was pretty decent size object. Now, it was way up in the air. I don't know exactly how big. I would say probably about as big as a regular jetliner, but way up in the sky. And it was It was like a cigar-looking shape, almost a diamond. I can't really describe it anymore, but because it happened so fast, and it was just impossible for me to think that something could go from a flaming ball falling to the sky to stopping in midair and then just vanishing. It was crazy.
Nice. So this is why we open up the line, so people can share their stories like we just heard right now, right here on Third Phase of Moon Radio. We're going to be taking a break. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Don't go away. And we got a few area codes I want to get to. Area code 618, you're going to be coming up. And we're going to be going to area code 415 and let's see, and area code 423. We'll see if we can get everybody tonight. Stand by. Third Phase of Moon Radio. We'll be right back. We're back. Blake Cousins broadcasting live, Third Phase of Moon, and welcome back, everybody, from around the world. Let's go to area code 618. They've been holding on for a while, and I know they've got a story they want to share with us. I hope it's a good one. Thanks for joining us tonight, area code 618. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, thanks. My name is Perry. I am calling from the 618. It's like Belleville area, but so I live near a Air Force base called Scott Air Force Base. It's pretty well known Air Force base, and there's been quite a few different sightings around here. In fact, on YouTube, my friend that plays in a band was able to catch footage of this, and it is extremely good footage that was picked up by another show that they aired. But it's actually under UFO in O'Fallon, Illinois. But that is one occasion. For my own personal self, I have witnessed two unidentified objects that I noticed were not quite normal. So it's an interesting subject.
Absolutely. Well, tell me, what did you see? That's what we want to hear.
Well, in one experience, I was in the 8th grade, and me and my friend were just standing outside. For some reason, we ended up looking up at the sky, and we seen something that was it's hard to pronounce. Maybe it's just like silver. It's almost something that you would think would be a plane, but the only thing is it just sat there for a long while. So we both thought it was very strange. His name's BJ Woods, but we sit there and we looked at it, and the next thing you know, it was just gone. And we were like, it was baffling. You look at something like that and you wonder yourself, you're like, how does that even happen? So that was one occasion. And the other occasion actually happened maybe about 2 weeks ago. Me and my wife we live next to St. Louis, Missouri. So there's an arch, St. Louis is known for the arch, and there's a train. So on the train, I just am always looking up at the sky, and I did notice something that was just sitting there. And I told her, I'm like, look at this. This is not a plane. And I pulled my phone out, and I did capture a picture that I did post on my Twitter as we were down next to the arch, which is extremely, like, the sky's completely blue, but you can see this object, and it's, like, shaped flat. It's really weird looking. So those are my my experiences.
Yeah, I'm just I'm getting some. No, you're on. I was just listening to your story, and that's amazing because when you're 8 years old, and this
I was in
your
the
first
8th grade.
experience. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, in the 8th grade, a little bit older than 8 years old. But so what were you thinking? Did you go home, tell mom and dad what you saw?
Actually, I actually became very involved with Look Like. I did tell my mother about it, and she kind of just was like, well, then that you just that's what you saw, that's what you saw. But she started getting me books. I started doing research on this type of stuff, and I mean, now that we live in 2017 and Dr. Stephen Greer, that documentary itself, there's no way that you can walk away from that documentary and say that wasn't sufficient enough disclosure for anybody. So, it's just disclosure needs to happen. Thank God for people like you that do these shows that give people opportunity to vote, because it's happening. It is a very real thing. So,
Yeah, well, we appreciate that. We appreciate it. And, yeah, it's the whole point of Third Phase of the Moon is just letting people like you have a voice out there so that people could hear your story and relate with one's experience. Because if you're out there by yourself with this experience and you don't have many people that are going to take you seriously about this, well, it just definitely feels right to tell people this, and people are going to relate with it. So thank you so much for calling in, and
no
appreciate
problem.
that.
Thank you. And like I said, the videos out there to check out. If you look at this video, it is you can look and clearly see that these things are moving together. So, O'Fallon, Illinois UFO.
Okay, we're going to see if you can get did you shoot this, or did one of your buddies shoot this from the band?
This was shot on a phone. This was shot live on a phone. So, around a bunch of people. There's a bunch of witnesses in it. This video was picked up by a small program around here that focuses on the paranormal, and it is very much worth checking out. So who would I get permission to share the video? I'd love to share it. And exactly where do we find it? Well, it's on YouTube, and it's called UFO O'Fallon, Illinois. It's my best friend Jody Havnot. He's in a band, and actually he's got his own link on there, and you can get in contact with him.
Absolutely. We're going to do that. And thanks for the heads up.
You need to check it out for sure.
So it's called UFO Found in Illinois?
UFO in O'Fallon, Illinois. Or you can just put in Jody Havnot, search that in YouTube, and it'll pop. You'll see it pop up in his videos. But it is a very, the video speaks for itself, and it was witnessed by a lot of people. There's been so many sightings in this area, but that's a perfect example of it. It was caught in this area.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye out. We're going to see if we can track that down, and if anybody out there could send me the link on that, that'd be helpful as well. And that's amazing. That's how we roll. We're sharing the information as it comes in real time. So that doesn't get much better than that. Let's go to area code 415. I want to welcome 415 to the show. Thanks for waiting. You made it live. How you doing tonight?
Good, Blake. How are you?
Doing good. You're coming a little soft. I can't hear you. Can you get your voice up a little louder there? Hello? 415? Oh, nope, you're too soft. You're going to have to pick it up. Hello?
I'm there.
Okay, 415. We'll get back to you. We'll see if we could see if you could get that audio fixed up. That'd be definitely helpful. Let's see. We got an area code 423 that's been waiting. So let's hopefully that person could fix up their audio. Let's see how 423 sounds. How you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Hey, welcome to the show. Where are you calling in from?
Thank you. Okay. I was with my friend, and we saw these two UFOs, I seen a UFO that landed in in the middle of the forest of my house. And I didn't know what it was. It had like a blinking light, and I could see it from far distance. And I didn't know what it was gonna be.
Okay, well, you're coming up a little broken there, but appreciate you sharing your sighting and tuning into Third Phase of Moon. Appreciate that. Let's go to area code 585. 585, you're live. Hey, how you doing?
All right, man.
Doing good.
Hey, I didn't know what happened last time with the audio, man, but I wanted to talk to you because I wanted to confirm you something I haven't told you about technology. You know, now that we was talking last time about Area 51, there is something that's not being discussed. And our country here in the U.S., we get the technology last because I can confirm that, and I had a friend of mine that confirmed it as well for me because in 2005, 3 years prior, before 2008, when the Bluetooths were out, they were already out in 2005 in Puerto Rico, and the smartphones were already out in Germany, my friend told me, by 2003. So there's a lot of things going around, man. I just wanted to bring that up to par because I know you were questioning about why always the technology is so delayed, you know. And I guess those people in the Middle East, they get it before us type thing.
Well, sure. And so do, a lot of foreign countries get to have the luxury of benefiting from technology far before America usually gets it. But there's so many standards we have to go through and regulations before we get to have fun with some of these gadgets. But let me ask you this. Some people are saying that there's a decline right now in alien abductions due to the fact that the cell phone actually exists, because now the aliens might have to worry about people might really capture an abduction caught on film, and they're wary of doing this now due to the cell phone technology. What do you think? Do you think there's a real decline in alien abduction?
The thing about this, and you know how we've been having our speech about how, you know, our government keeps everything because it's, you know, the government, whenever they feel like releasing the toys and everything else, you got to understand something. I don't know if you're too aware of Alex Jones. He talks about a lot of things that have to do with what's going on in our society today and days. And it's like he says, you know, Hollywood figures, they run the show. So whenever Hollywood with the government decides to, release stuff, then that's what happens. Because when you look at Hollywood, you look at a lot of the technology there's because you got to understand something. Hollywood is the smokescreen to everything that's going on. Right now, I went to my place here in Rochester when SmackDown came, and you could just see the Hollywood. You know, I'm sorry, the BS is there. You know, lights, camera, action. That's the thing, man. Hollywood runs the show, period. Like the other day.
Yeah. Well, sure. Let me agree with you on that. There is a major power in that multimedia world. It pretty much consumes the planet and runs our everyday living because they kind of set the standard. If it wasn't for Hollywood and TV, nobody would be able to really know how to live, it seems. What would humans be like without television? Well, you'd have to go back over almost about 100 years ago. And as people lived a pretty tough life, unless you had a lot of money. They had to figure out something to, I don't know, dumb down the masses. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. Appreciate the call, though. What's the agenda? Big question. And what about alien abduction on the decline because of aliens being possibly concerned about being caught on a cell phone? Let's see. Area code 423. You there? You coming in?
Yeah.
Sounds like there's a. Yeah, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
Much better. Welcome back.
Okay. I was in my state. I seen this video on YouTube, and I seen a real alien abducting. there was these 4 guys that was in a house.
Wait, hold on.
And they were...
Let me back it up. Wait. You just said you saw an alien abductee. What do you mean?
Like,
Let's
saw
start
an
off with
alien
that.
abducting... Like, they were abducting these guys into their ships, and, like, they were dragging them in, like into their ships as, like, alien prisoners, and they were running for their lives, and, like, I didn't, they were, like, running from their lives, and I didn't know what they were going to do.
Oh, wait, hold on a sec. Were you part of this abduction, or were you just watching this on YouTube?
No, I was, like, part of it, and then I tried to, like, run away from it, and, they were, like, I didn't see it come out of no, it was, like, this mountain. It was behind the mountain, and then it was, like, coming, like, straight to my house, and I didn't know what we should do, and it was, like, jamming my phone, and I didn't have no signal or no service.
So wait a second. You had extraterrestrial beings in hot pursuit
Yes.
of you, and you ran into your home. Then what? Go ahead. Are you?
And then they would like.
Are you serious here?
Huh? I was like, they were like trying to adjust me, and they were like touching like my forehead, but like mind control. Somebody.
He's breaking up. Sorry about that. Gotta go. Can't hear you. Can't share your story. Can't hear you. Let's try area code 603. See how they're coming in. 603. You just made it to Third Phase of Moon Live Radio.
Hey,
welcome to the show.
Hi, how you doing? Hi.
Good.
I think we spoke before.
Coming in loud and clear. Pardon me?
Am I good? I think we spoke before. This was like, I forgot, what was it? Saturday? No, Friday. I forget. It was about the alien. I saw it outside my window when I was living in the projects in Millbrook Projects, New York City.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, welcome back.
Might remember. I didn't tell you about all the technical other stuff afterwards. What started happening to me. Let me first start. Just give you a short clip from the beginning. I lived in New York City, the Millbrook Projects. I lived on the 8th floor and saw a bright light across the way, 100 yards away. And it was very bright. You couldn't really see the spaceship. It was very dark, but you could see there was like a shine off the window off of it. It was a pretty big window, but it was a bright spotlight facing down on the 6-story rooftop. Anyway, just to speak about the technical part, ever since I was a little kid, I started getting into electronics. And I was pretty smart at math and stuff like that, but some things came naturally. It was kind of weird. I could watch television.
Hello? Oh, we just lost the caller. A dropout of some sort. Oh well, let's try area code 415. Let's see how area code 415 is coming in. That's weird. Okay, 415. How you doing? How's your audio doing tonight?
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, there you go.
Can you hear
That's much better. Yep, gotcha.
Is it? Oh, great. Just wanted to say that really enjoyed that show about the 3-year-old and being abducted last night.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Yeah, Dave from Maine, he has 2 different names, Mark, Dave. I don't know, he changed his name up, but
really
his testimony and his, it was with everything, how he called in over a period of 2 years, twice to the radio show Third Phase Moon, and it was just, it was impressive to hear his testimony. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So on April 2nd, I had kind of an orb experience. I've seen them many times over the years, but this is the first time that I saw it up close. So it was a Sunday. I went into the roof to get some sun around 2 o'clock. After being up there for about a half hour, I decided to stand up and look around because it's a really nice view in San Francisco. I live in downtown San Francisco. And I was looking around, and then I noticed this large bubble pass by. It couldn't have been more than 15, 20 feet away from me. And I said, it's funny what the brain does when it doesn't know what you're looking at. And I said, so immediately it identified it as a bubble. And I realized after the second one passed by, these aren't bubbles. But my brain was trying to tell me they were bubbles because it kind of looked like it. What it was kind of football size, and I could kind of see a front that was vaguely visible and a back, but all the interior was transparent. And as a few more went by, I noticed that there were two lights in each of them. The back light was blinking incredibly fast, really fast, and the front light was just twinkling. And then I realized they were not bubbles because there was no reflection on them. You could almost see through them. Unlike a real bubble that would be kind of iridescent, these were not at all. And I saw about, all in all, about 7 or 8 of these pass by. I could not see where they were coming from. They were coming from the west to the east, heading downtown, but no idea. I mean, they just kind of suddenly appeared and just traveled along. At the last bubble that went by, I realized I was holding my iPhone, and so I put the video on, and I did happen to catch it on the video, the last one. Although it's all really shaky, I'd realized iPhones are not really good for filming things, but I filmed it, and what came out is not what I saw. What came out was just this milky white orb traveling, all across the screen because I was moving so much. But it's not what I saw. What I saw were two bright lights in the center of like this transparent enclosure. And I've never seen that before because I've seen orbs before, but they're always, distant, high in the sky, about a quarter of a mile away, but never this close. It was odd. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this, but I've heard this before. Have you?
Yeah, so you're saying it's almost clear and almost like a big soap bubble of some sort?
Yeah, like a big soap bubble, but no reflectivity on it. I could just barely make out that it had a front that was kind of round and a back that was kind of round, but nothing in between. But you could tell it was kind of a bubble with two bright lights in it, each one.
Like almost like a perfect, clear crystal sphere of some sort, but with no iridescence or any reflection. That doesn't reflect. Without reflecting, exactly. Yeah, I wonder what that is. It's kind of interesting. You would imagine it's almost impossible to photograph, you would think, or even film, because the thing really has no reflective values to it, but you almost just see a subtle silhouette.
Right. Came out as this milky orb, which is not exactly what I saw.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
How big do you think this sphere was?
They were about.
Was it wobbling? Was it consistent? Did it wobble?
No, they moved very silently and clear across the sky, headed west to east to a downtown. But at a certain distance, it would disappear. It would just disappear as it went downtown. And this is on the 8th floor. I live on a building at the 8th floor, so this is high above this, above the street. This is not on the street.
Well, you know what? Let me ask you one last question here. There is a rumor going around, or a speculation that the alien abduction phenomenon has decreased as of the technology of cell phones out there to the public, that they're concerned about being caught on tape in an abduction experience. What do you say about that hypothetical thinking? There's people out there that are suggesting that right now.
No, I certainly think that could be true. I mean, it would be a preemptive kind of move on their part not to want to get caught. And in fact, I'm kind of surprised, as you should be, that we haven't already caught one. Correct?
Yeah, there's some evidence out from people out there, and there's Stan Romanek that's caught some apparent footage of it, but yeah, not very. It's pretty rare. Absolutely. You would think that with all the callers that call into our show with their abductions, that they just don't have surveillance cameras if it's an ongoing thing. That hey, I'm gonna capture this for myself. Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't been captured on cell phone with undeniable evidence. We wait to see that. That's for sure.
Yeah, even with this experience, it didn't occur to me that until I saw the last one that I had an iPhone in my hand.
Well, I got a feeling the cell phone technology actually was reverse engineered from alien tech, or maybe technology that existed millions of years ago. Who knows? So if it derived from there, I'm sure they might have a kill switch on that some kind of fail-safe. Who knows? But, yeah, we're waiting for that undeniable abduction footage. But, hey, man, I appreciate the call in. Hey, thanks for calling in tonight. Keep in touch.
Right, you're welcome.
Have that camera ready, because you never know when things might be going down. You just never know. But if you have an open mind and keep your eyes on the skies, the likelihood of you seeing a UFO for the first time goes up very high. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Stay tuned to Third Phase of Moon for more updates. We're going to be posting up the videos as they come in. We don't waste time. We look at the videos. We're like, wow, this looks amazing. Put it out as fast as possible and let our 450,000 or 400+ thousand subscribers tell us what it is. You guys are the information. You guys have the answers. We're just putting out the, sharing the message that people want to share. You got the voice. Stay safe, everybody. Blake Cousins.